Well, what have we got here? We've got an Audioline 342 remote. There should be a lid kicking around. I think one of the other engineers has taken it off. These were £140 new. Everything's on the handset. On-off volume, squelch, 4 or 0.4 watts, tone high and low, channel up and down, channel lock so you don't knock it in the PTT bar, LED display, TXRX light, highest quality construction, crystal filtered as standard. Did I say these were £140 new? Yes. Right, unfortunately, I've got absolutely no idea what somebody's done to this. What's all this about? What's all that about? I don't know. I better get it all removed and back to standard. Now, luckily, we reviewed this in 1984, and I'm so glad we did all this work, because when you presented with something which has been modified like that, although I've got the service manual in front of me, because I took the precaution of taking photographs of these inside and out, I can see from my photograph that the yellow wire in this one shouldn't be there. Just goes to show how these things come in. Incidentally, let's see what the reviewers thought of it when we had it on review. Transmit clarity 78%, receive clarity 74%, squelch performance 78%, ease of control 60%, appearance and layout 80%, sensitivity 76%, selectivity 76%, features available 68%, total 73.75. That was a pretty good set. Right, I will take it apart and see what we need to do to it. Well, I think I've removed the things that need removing. We had a fresh delivery from the wholesaler today. I got through 25 mics last week. I can't believe it. So here we are with a nice new power lead for this. Incidentally, this is a set we've bought in. It's not a customer set. Okay, well, it powers up and that makes a start. On the back of these sets, obviously you've got the power input and the antenna, you've got the extension speaker socket. You've got another socket which is a 2.5mm jack which says relay cont, and that means relay control. There was an accessory available at the time, and you could wire it up in your car so that it muted your car radio, squelch operated from the CB, which was a clever little nifty idea at the time. These sets are crystal filtered as standard, and they're made by Uniden. So the next thing is, can we select channel 20? This works on serial data. The realistic 2003 remote has got a lot of wires in the cable. This doesn't have as many, and it's just an ordinary channel selector switch on that, which simply is remote from the radio. On the binatone breaker phone, like this, it's serial data, and I can't think of any others at the moment. Right, will it select channel 20? And it will. The scan generator chips for these are quite horrendously expensive to buy. I remember having to buy one for one of these. Right, we'll see if it'll transmit before going any further, and the answer is it will. And I'll just see if it will actually receive. And the answer is yes, it will. So don't ask me what those extra things were. In line with other Uniden products, I noticed the transmit receive is one LED which changes colour. I always like that, it's really nifty. Obviously little things please little minds and all that. Right, so we'll go through this with you. Okay folks, well it's now the next day. There's a bit of a problem with this radio, and I'm not going to be able to overcome it. This is the handset in bits. You've got a 16 core cable or whatever, I've not counted them. And unfortunately, there's a short in the cable about at the first curl. It goes without saying that after 30 years there will be no way of getting a replacement cable. So I will look at the wholesalers and see what they offer. So to carry on with this video, I sorted another problem out as well. When I turned it on, it worked for about 5 seconds, then the audio IC here, MB3712, got red hot, and that's because those two capacitors were leaky, and so they've been replaced. That was an easy fix. It's the handset that's an insurmountable problem. However, I've got one of these sets in my own personal collection of radios, and therefore I've got another handset. So just for the purpose of this demonstration video, we'll use my handset on this set. When I bought mine, this had a problem, and the problem with this one is the scan generator chip inside it was faulty, because these work by serial data. So that was not a cheap thing to repair. So we will start again. I'll put this faulty mic now in a cardboard box. You never know, one might turn up, or I might be able to find someone else who does cables for them, and we'll get back on with this. Okay, well there's no instructions for the VCO in the service manual, although I've got the full service manual in front of me. So what we're going to do is, it uses an LC7137, so if we check that pin 17 is somewhere around about 4 volts on both transmit and receive on channel 40, so we're going to transmit 2.1 volts, receive 3 volts. I'll just pop down to channel 1 and pin 17 again. 2, 3, 4. .06, that seems a bit low, but it's transmitting, and .02. Well, that's what I would have thought. Hang on a minute, there's another test point there. Ah, that's what it'll be. It'll be the same as the yes, it says test point and there's a resistor there, so it's not pin 17. So we've got nearly 2 volts on channel 1 on receive, got 1 volt on transmit, and we'll pop to channel 40, 2 volts on transmit and 3 volts on receive. So it should be somewhere around about 4 volts at the top end and somewhere over 1 volt at the bottom end. So I mean, with the radio's in lock, it's never been touched, so I'm not going to tamper with it, but if it was, the VCO is clearly that coil there. Do I have any information on what coil number that is? I'll just go through the sheaves of A3 paperwork, and that is L7. So we'll now move on to doing the transmitter. Basically, according to the manual, we're on L9, LT18, presumably L1, L17 and L15, and we actually adjust the power, if it's over the top that is, for so it's L15, so that if it's over the top we'll need to drop it down with that one. So let's give it a go. I'll just make sure we're in channel 20. Yeah, the problem with the original handset is there's a short in the cable causing it to be on full volume all the time. Okay, well, this radio is doing just over 4 watts. So we'll go for L9. L18. Presumably that L1. I might be wrong on that. Just melt the wax in the coil L17. And then use the yellow tool. We can melt the wax a bit more. It feels a bit dodgy, this core. Yeah, it's a broken core, that's why. Right, I'll try again. I've unsoldered the coil and I've been able to put the core in the other way around. So we're back to L17. And I've been able to peak it now. Right, and finally L15, which is, by the way, it's 5.3 watts. That's just brought it down to 4 with coil 15. So there we go. There's no S meter on this radio, so we don't need to do the RF meter. It's got high-low power, so I'll now switch on the handset to low power, and there we go. The radio does the same 4 watts on low power. So I'll just look up which the potentiometer is for that. It's VR3. We'll just give that a quick clean. And VR3, according to my manual, is there. And that's gone straight down to 0.4. I don't know why that was out of adjustment. And then finally, we'll go over to the deviation. Let's use the oscillator I've got. Switch to the camera if I can. There we go. And we've got, it's just slightly over the top at 3. So we'll just need to drop that down a fraction. I wish I'd looked on the manual which adjustment it is. VR2 is deviation, which is there. Oops. So that's just dropped it to 2.5. Now we'll give it the whistle test. Wallow, lovely, that's brilliant. Have I got a monitor receiver? Just see what it sounds like. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. None of us radio engineers can count above about 5. So we are. We're all. Oh, we need to just check it's on frequency. Not that it's adjustable on these, in line with other Uniden models. Should be 27.79125. It's 27.79144. So that's well within tolerance. But it's down to the crystal being stable. So there we have it. Cheated by using this other microphone. And I'll join you on the receive side.